Alright everyone, there's a very, very funny link in the description. You can kindly go to it. It's a YouTube video and leave him a downvote. You can't comment though, because as with everything else that becomes wildly unpopular, the comments get turned off. Wow, they can't handle criticism. This is a Google video that they've put out. It's about their thing where you can search for black-owned businesses. See, the insinuation is that, you have a social responsibility to deliberately shop at a place simply because of the color of the skin of the owner of the business. Talk about wild times. We're literally back in Jim Crow, only it's been kind of inverted. However, I would like to posit something to the nerds at Google and YouTube. When you institute such a program that marks black-owned businesses, do you not think that people with bigoted views, especially when you're fanning the flames of bigotry by explicitly exploiting people's differences in the color of their skin with this particular program, don't you think that it's also a method by which people who are at least mildly bigoted can say, well, I never knew a black person on this business, I guess I'll take my business elsewhere. Especially when big tech, which 10 years ago had sky-high approval, look at YouTube, being a YouTuber was a huge thing 10 years ago. Increasingly, people who are more intelligent no longer refer to themselves that way. When people ask what I do for a living, I'm an author, an editor, and a content creator. Years ago, I was a YouTuber and an author and editor. I was a YouTuber first and foremost, but that brand loyalty has been pissed away by Google. Google's poor decision-making and its constant grifting on racial and sex-based, gender-based issues has caused a lot of people to feel alienated because what was once a sort of community that they took a hands-off approach and people just sort of milled about themselves, now is one where Google and YouTube explicitly break people up. Like, they'll have oh, here's our creators of color, here's our black YouTubers page. It doesn't really make any sense. And it will be exploited by people, again, by the way, who will probably use it. They'll probably take the basic concept and they'll just have an avoid these businesses sort of page with all the businesses that you're listing. Oh, I never knew that grocery store was owned by a Brazilian, so I know, I'm not going there anymore. There will be people who will do that. I don't know. Tit for tat, I think that these businesses probably lose out because of the design and because of the functionality of such a program, of such an idea. The concept itself is bullshit. The concept that there's a need for this sort of thing is a complete farce. It's just Google attempting to exploit differences between people in order to get money and more brand loyalty among a certain segment of the population, by the way, most of which are not black. Most of those particular soy suckers in society are all a bunch of white middle-class trust funders for the most part. Those are the people that are actually going to use this, and then the rednecks down the road with shaved hairs and swastika tattoos will use this because then they know where to avoid. Oh, I have to go to the next county to get my illegal fireworks now because I just found out that this dude with the shed out back full of explosives, I didn't know that he was black. I'm the blind white supremacist. He sounded like he was Italian or something. You're going to have that happen. This is a terrible idea. When corporations, for-profit, multi-billion-dollar, multinational entities are trying to exploit differences between people, they're doing it for money. This is not to help black-owned businesses. It's so that they can look and feel good, and the SJWs will consider it woke, and the SPLC will praise it about how great a success it is that another meaningless fucking app was developed for racial purposes. Bunch of screwball. Google should fire all of the people that worked on the project. YouTube should terminate it immediately and take this fucking video down. If you're going to have a creator community, then treat the creators equally. You've already broken people apart into a caste system where you've got the 99%, then you've got the partners, the larger creators like me as sort of your middle class on the platform, then you have your priority creators, which are handpicked by YouTube. You've already split people apart into a fairly stringent hierarchy where a few thousand creators and channels, mostly corporate in nature, all of which are at least under contract, are treated with great deference, the partners are tolerated, and everyone else is shafted. Dude, if I were just starting out on YouTube today, do you think that I'd have 10 subscribers? No, I wouldn't be searchable. Try going and searching for the last hour's results under the most popular hashtags. It used to be you'd have 10 pages to navigate through, now you'll have 10 videos to navigate through. Most of which will be from partner channels. Sometimes from outright priority channels, because YouTube is openly hiding 90% of the content on the fucking platform. It buries it completely. You can't even search through relevancy by time uploaded anymore accurately. You can't do it. YouTube used to be great for these things. I would say, aren't there better things that you can do than develop a program for sponsoring black-owned businesses? Like, couldn't you fix some of the problems with the site with copyright infringement takedown notifications? You know, like people getting random videos copyright struck, and YouTube just assumes that if the person rejects the appeal that it's automatically valid, even if it's clearly not, because no human ever looks at it? Now, that's a problem on site. What about the fact that you're purging or blocking creators who have huge audiences from even reaching their audiences anymore based on their political views? That's a little bit of a problem on the site. And they randomly turn off, by the way, that throttling, and then turn it back on. Like, it was off for a couple of weeks there. I gained like 3,500 new subscribers over that course of time. The channel was growing quickly, just like it was for years before. Now it's closed off again. Now it's stagnant again. Next week it might be different. Next week I might gain 100,000 subscribers. You can't even tell anymore. It doesn't even have to do with the quality or the amount of content at this point. It's about whether YouTube has its algorithms in check at the time. This is not going to be helpful. That's about all. Peace out.